What's up, guys? Mr. Knows Hoops back today with another video, and today, guys, this video is going to be a little bit different. There will be no film. I'm going to try just something a little bit different, spice it up. As always, guys, don't forget to do a like, comment, subscribe. We're at 593 subs. We're almost at the end of January. I know we can hit this, guy, so please, please, please subscribe, share it with your friends, do whatever you have to do. Join the Discord in the description. We're watching games all the time. Today, I am giving my personal predictions for the All-Star team. And today, my predictions are going to be based off how I think voters are also going to vote. So I'm going to take into account, like, gotta be realistic with it. And also, you know, obviously my personal thoughts on what I think, who I think deserves to be in what sort of position. So without further ado, I sort of want to get right into this. And I'm going to start with the starters for each side. And then obviously we'll get into the bench. But for the West, starting, I have Luka and Shea. I mean, these two dudes have been nothing short of remarkable. Like, I think Shea's for sure a lock starter. Like, especially, and Luka. I mean, these two dudes have just been out of this world. To me, it'd be a disgrace if they weren't. Now, the front court got a little tricky because, okay, I have LeBron, KD, and Jokic. And my thing is like, okay, do I technically think LeBron should be a starter? I think technically AD should be the starter over LeBron. But he's got the most votes by the people. You know the media is going to vote for him. He's going to be a starter, right? It's just how it's going to be. He's too big of a name not to be a starter. KD's just been out of this world. I mean, just last night, on the 21st, when I'm recording this on the 22nd, KD just dropped 40 against the Pacers. Like, this dude has been out of this world. The efficiency, I mean, this guy is just, and Jokic is obviously, I mean, he's Jokic. To me, the second best player in basketball, or the best, depending on who you ask. I mean, this dude, I don't know how you wouldn't. Now, in the East, this is where things get a little interesting. So for me, I have Tyrese Halliburton as a starting guard. I have Donovan Mitchell as a starting guard, especially with what he's been doing lately. And then to me, the front court in the East was just as easy as the back court in the West. Yeah, I have Giannis, Tatum, Embiid. I mean, Embiid, depending on who you ask, is the MVP of this season. Giannis has been in that conversation, arguably having the best season of his career. And Tatum's on the best team in the league, and he's been playing very good too. I mean, I don't think any of what I said here is too crazy. Now, the guard is a little weird, right? Because to me, Halliburton is going to probably be a starter, especially because it's in Indiana. The fans are really starting to like him. The media really likes him now. Like, again, I love Tyrese anyways, so don't matter to me. But D. Mitch is the guard in the East is all weird. To me, it's all over the place because it's like, okay, you have, Dame, Maxey, Trey, Bruns. How do you value at that point what's going on? At that point, I'm just going to take what D. Mitch has been doing. I think it's been really good. Yeah, what Halliburton's been doing, leading the number one offense in basketball. To me, those are going to be the starters, right? Okay. Now I'm going to get into specifically just the West and go from there, right? So, just a reminder for anyone who doesn't know, because I had to look on NBA.com to make sure. So, for the reserves, it's 2 backcourt members, 3 front court members, and then 2 wild cards. They could be any position. It doesn't matter. So, for my 2 guards, I have Steph Curry. I mean, he's Steph. Like, again, there's a reality to things. Not even that I don't think Steph deserves to be an all-star or anything, but he's Steph Curry. He's going to make it. So, you have Steph, and then I have Anthony Edwards. No, I think, again, Ant has to, like, someone from the Timberwolves has to be rewarded. You're the number 1 team in the West. You're a couple games back from being the number 1 team in the league, record-wise. And, again, to me, out of all the players, they're going to pick one, to give it to. I mean, they're going to go with Ant. I mean, he's the young guy, arguably superstar, future of the league type of guy. They're going to pick him. They're going to roll with him. So that's how I sort of, feel about that. And then I guess the next major question is who's the front court? And this is where things got hard. So for me, the first front court spot was very easy. You have Anthony Davis. Like, again, I thought he should have been a starter. Then you have Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi to me has just been hooping. He's on the top, I believe, like 4 or 5 seed in the West. I mean, to me, Kawhi's their best player. Top team. Just easy addition there. Then I have Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis has been doing really, really, really well this season. I mean, 60% from the field is remarkable, and he's giving you about 8 assists a game, almost averaging a triple-double, giving you about like 20, 12, and 8. I mean, that's very good. And then this is where I don't know where I struggled with was the wild card teams. Or spots, sorry, not teams. So here were some names that came to my mind when I was thinking of it, right? Or thought process. Does someone from the Pelicans have to make the All-Star game? They're the 5th seed in the West. You have Zion, which the league is still going to love Zion, and they're going to say, you know what I mean, like, Zion is another dude that they want to be a future of the league. And then you have Brandon Ingram, right? They're averaging about the same number of points. Obviously, BI's can be more efficient from the 3. I think Zion's technically more efficient, but it's on like 0.33 balls a game, so it's like, eh. So then you have that dilemma, right? And then you say, okay, but does James Harden or Paul George? What about Devin Booker? These are all names that I'm like, okay, at what point do we take into account the team's record and standing versus just, I want the best player available? De'Aaron Fox, Booker, like I said, you could put in James Harden, Paul George. Again, there's so many names. Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert. Like, what name do you pull out of the hat? So for me, I figured, again, in my thought of mind, I think the media, I think the coaches are going to put someone from New Orleans on there. Now, there's a chance they don't. And I'm sure you guys will be right there to go, Imster, they actually didn't pick one. Come on now, bro. No, I'm playing. But my thing is like, I personally, if I had to pick one, I'm putting Brandon Ingram in there. He's played 4 more games than Zion, averaging about the same amount of points, obviously giving you more assists, had probably less rebounds. But to me, Brandon Ingram's probably been their best player. And they're the 5 seed. Like, I think if you're a top 4 to 5 seed, you probably, in my opinion, you most likely deserve an All-Star. Like, it's kind of hard for me not to give you one. Now, the second choice was tough because the names, again, were, you got Devin Booker, Paul George, De'Aaron Fox, you have Karl Anthony Towns. To me, Cat was eliminated first of my list of names. And the only reason I say that is that as well as Cat's playing, I don't know if this team is necessarily great enough for the voters to go, yeah, this is a 2 to 3 all-star caliber squad. So I removed Cat. Then I was like, okay, Booker and De'Aaron have probably not played enough games. Paul George has actually played the most games out of the 3, and he's still giving me about 24 a game. Now, obviously, counting numbers-wise, Fox and Booker are better. But the Kings are the 8 seed. Do the 8 seed deserve 2 All-Stars? I don't know. The Suns, I believe, are like the 7 or 6 seed. Do they deserve 2 All-Stars? I don't think so. At that point, the Clippers are like the 4 seed, I think. They're a top team in the West. And to me, the way that he's been playing, Paul George does deserve that nod. It's close. So if you get, again, in the comments, I want to know your guys' all-star teams. If you guys don't have Paul George making it, I wouldn't even be mad. Like, if, to me, again, it's those sort of 4 names at that last wild card spot. Or you could have 2 of those names. If you said, no, I'm sorry, I want Booker and Paul George in my last 2 wild card spots. Sorry, BI or Zion, you're not making it. Makes sense to me. Now, let's move over to the East. In the East, I have Jalen Brunson and Trae Young as my 2 backup guards. To me, Brunson has been playing actually just really freaking good again this year. I mean, New York is going to get an all-star, like at least one. So I don't see how they wouldn't get him like in there. And then Trae Young's just been playing really. I mean, the numbers are there for themselves. I mean, yes, they're the 10 seed, but hey, man, I mean, they're hooping. Like he's hooping. Like, it's just one of those things. It's like the only question mark I had and I've talked about this in the Discord with my buddies. Shout out to Karma and Gart and Dream. And we talked about it. The coaches aren't necessarily the biggest fan of Trae Young. So that's the one thing that could hurt him, is that the media kind of likes Trae Young. Coaches are not necessarily the biggest on him either. So then it's like, well, that could bite him. But to me, I think those two guys are all-stars, right? The front court for the East was very hard for me because I just didn't know who was really, I don't know if deserving is the word, but it's like, you're looking at these names and you're like, man, this dude's an all-star right now. So I said, Bam. Bam's played about 33 games. I'm not going to lie, if he didn't get hurt, he'd probably be my defensive player of the year. Dude's having a great season. And someone from Miami is going to make it. And if it had to be anyone, Jimmy, quite frankly, just isn't playing very well in the regular season right now. Heroes missed way too many games. It's Bam. Bam deserves to be on this all-star team. And then I have Paolo Banchero. Paolo, to me, this Magic team, I know recently they've been struggling, but Franz has been hurt. They're still a play-in team. And if the 9 or 8 seeded Lakers, right, and again, I guess it's a bit different because of the name power and, their actual play. But to me, Paolo is going to make it. And then I ended up going with Julius Randle. The other names I was thinking at the front court, you had Scotty Barnes. But to me, the Raptors, to me, are just too low of a seed. Even for me, at some point, there has to be a cutoff of, no. There was a dude who's playing very well on a better team, and that better team could be because of that player. I'm taking what Julius Randle has helped provide the Knicks this season, especially in the more recent stretch, because you couldn't make the argument, right? Randle was struggling, but so was Trae Young at the beginning of the year. And Randle, just like Trae Young, had a stretch where he looked really freaking good and has been really good. The three ball has been a bit of a struggle for him this season, but again, I think that's just because of the starting stretch. Trae Young for a good stretch was also under 40% from the field. So to me, my front court, again, I got Bam, Paolo, and and Randle. My bad, guys. It's been a long day. And then my wild cards. I have Tyrese Maxey and Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard, to me, it's similar to, not quite to the same level because LeBron's been playing better than him, but it's that same idea. The name value alone, and considering that there's not a whole lot of names, to be 100% honest, that I would give over Dame right now, I'm taking Dame. And Tyrese Maxey, to me, the dude's he stepped up big time. I would not be surprised, though, if I saw Jaylen Brown or Porzingis, one of those two, make it in for Boston, right? To be 100% honest, I would probably take Dame over both of them, and I for sure am taking Maxey over both of them and Dame, to be honest. Just off of this season, these numbers, what Tyrese Maxey has managed to help this Philadelphia team with James Harden getting traded, leaving, I think Maxey for sure is an all-star. I think it honestly would be a snub if he doesn't make it. They're the 3 seed. He's been playing out of this world too. I get it, you have Embiid, but this team, the way they're both playing, they deserve that representation, to me. And then Dame, to me, they're the 2 seed. I just think Dame's been playing better than the other 2 guys in Boston. At least that you would name, right? It's not even that Boston is a worse team, or because again, record-wise, they're the best team in the league. But no one else on that team right now is looking again, out of this world. Let's give them the thing. So I don't know what you guys think down below. Who is your all-star team? So again, just a quick reminder, my West, I have Luka, Shea, LeBron, KD, Jokic, Curry, Anthony Edwards, AD, Kawhi, Sabonis, Brandon Ingram, and Paul George. And in the East, I've got Halliburton, D. Mitch, Giannis, Tatum, Embiid, Brunson, Trae Young, Bam Adebayo, Paolo Banchero, Julius Randle, Tyrese Maxey, and Damian Lillard. As always, guys, this was Answer No Hoops. Let me know if you like these kind of formatted videos as well. That helps me out, figure out what I kind of want to do and proceed with things. So as always, guys, this was Answer No Hoops. Have a beautiful rest of your day, guys. Peace out.